Page 34, Wild Goose Chase. Here they're talking about practicing slow. We always practice slow. But the piece they're giving you here is marked allegro, which is fast. How fast? I don't know. They give you a metronome marking, you can experiment with it. But the idea is you always take things slow originally. I mean, at first until you learn it. Because you're not going to just sit down and go here. If you can do that, you don't need this book. You're well beyond it. But you're going to start slow. Just one hand at a time. Watch the fingering. Fingering may not be what you think, because sometimes you're using second finger in a row. So you just have to watch the fingering carefully. You get down to the third line after that second measure in the half notes. Now you're changing. Now you're up here. You're staying up here. You stay up here until the last measure of the fourth line, and then you're coming back down here. Work. So just work out that right hand really, really slow. And the technique I'm doing is this rotation thing. I'm just rotating here. I'm just transferring the weight from one key to the other. I'm not trying to just use the fingers. I'm exaggerating for the camera, but it's a very small move. If you try and use the finger, you're going to wear yourself out. So let the weight push the notes down. You're just rocking the hand back and forth gently, quickly. You see the tenuto marks they put over the notes in the right hand? That's telling you where the melody is. They want you to bring that out. Actually, what you can do, it's very difficult to do, is you can play those notes with the tenuto markings more like almost a quarter note. You hang on to them longer. Even as you play the other note, you can still hang on. Almost legato. That's hard to do, it really is. The point is they're melodies, so bring them out a little bit. Left hand's simple enough, you got these chords. No big deal, I hope. Third line down is okay. Fourth line down, that's a D and an F. And then you're down here. Now remember the rules for accidentals. The accidental applies from that point on to the rest of the measure. Like in the first measure, when you have that G sharp, well, the other next G coming up, that's a G sharp. It's in the same measure, so it's here. And that's all over the place. You have to watch it. They don't want it to be a sharp anymore. They have to put in a natural sign. So, for instance, take a look at the last measure of the first line. You have a G sharp. Now they introduced a G natural because they don't want a G sharp there. Now they do want a G sharp. Now they want a G natural. It's like they can't make up their mind. But that's how it has to be done on these accidentals. Otherwise, if they didn't use the natural signs, all of them would be G sharp in that measure after the first one. So be careful on those. There's a couple of sforzandos. You see those? There's one in the second measure of the third line. That's just like a boom. Don't make it harsh. It's just boom. Just let them know it's there, and it's also at the very end. Dynamic-wise, they don't do a lot with dynamics, but you can put them in. It's medium loud, whatever that is, and then you get down to the third measure of the third line. Now it's loud when you come up here. And then you diminuendo on the fourth line back down to a loud, or medium loud, which isn't much difference between a medium loud and a loud. It's just a little bit. So you're coming down a little bit. That's really, except for the sforzandos, except for the booms. That's really all it is. Now, moving the hands about, I hope this isn't causing problems in moving these hands. You're going, for instance, in the third line down, going from the second measure, the boom, to going on, you got them here. So figure it out. From here to here. Practice the move if you have to. See if you can do it without looking. Because once you're there, you're there. And then again, when going back down in the next line, fourth line, the last two measures, you're up here. The left hand has to go from here to here. You may have to look down for that. The right hand isn't doing. You really shouldn't have to worry about looking at the right hand because it's easy to make that move. You're coming from here to here. The last beat in the second measure there on the third line is here, and then the next measure is here. That shouldn't be too difficult, but the left hand's got to go from here to here. So you'll have to look down for that, etc. to make that move. And that's it. Let's take this real slow and see it. I'll let you speed it up on your own later. Just right now we'll keep it nice and slow. 4/4 time will give us 4 counts. Right hand, left hand. Here we go. 1, 2, and ready and go and. Two, three, four.